Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel World of Nabila. Today's video is for all the graduates out there, the new ones, the recent ones and the ones who are going to be graduating in the next couple of months. I know the current situation is creating a sort of stress, a little bit of anxiety around what's going to happen. Am I going to find my next role? How am I going to find it? What's going to happen basically? And that's, all of these are fair questions. All of these are kind of fair emotions to be going through. However, there's obviously certain things you can be doing to kind of ensure that when you do get to the point when the market does start picking up, you're getting ahead of the crowd and you're really kind of hitting the grass running. I think that's the right way to say it. So I remember when I graduated, a lot of my friends, or not a lot, but quite a few of my friends had their graduate schemes already sorted, and I graduated in 2018. And that in itself was quite stressful for me because, I saw that quite a few people had stuff sorted. Why didn't I have something sorted? I'd been that person who'd done like so much extracurricular stuff, and what was going on? Why didn't I find something? But I kept applying, I kept being quite persistent, because I think that's the key to the whole situation, is persistence and just kind of going out there and seeing how you can differentiate yourself every time. So I obviously did that, and a few months later I managed to kind of get a graduate scheme. Now today's market is going to be a bit different because of everything that's going on. There's obviously a bit of a possibility that companies aren't going to be hiring as much, or graduate schemes might be put on hold at some places, and so on and so forth. So what can you do? You've just graduated. How can you set yourself apart? What can you do out there to protect yourself and ensure that you get something as soon as you can? So there's quite a few different things you can be doing. Number one, research. And I know we research all the time. We research for our assignments, exams and all of that stuff, but this research is to see what industries are booming in this current situation, because the reality is that not all industries are failing. There are industries out there that are doing extremely well in this current situation, so identify what those industries are, because the reality is that if they have a graduate scheme, they're going to be looking to hire. They're going to be looking to hire more people potentially. So find out what those companies are, find out if you're interested in them, find out what they're looking for, and get all of that under your belt, because the reality is when they open those graduate schemes and if they have more positions, you should be applying to them and you should be ahead of the game because you've done your research already and you've already kind of set yourself apart that way. Number two, we have a lot of time on our hands right now. I know that a lot of the graduate students, all the final year students, still have to do their assignments and all of those things. So obviously try and stay on top of them. I know this is a very difficult situation. We're all going through a lot of stuff. But if you can, try and stay on top of that, try and finish those on time. Still strive for the grades you were striving for before, purely because if there is a possibility for you to get a good grade, that's really key, and that's a great way to kind of get ahead and potentially see where you can get to. Number three, upskill and upskill. So I know that obviously, like I said, we have a lot of time, but graduate students or final year students are still having to do their assignments, so you might not have as much time. But anytime that you do have, if your university has said, actually, you don't need to do assignments, you will just kind of take grades from here, or you just have this one exam and you don't have as much as work as you would have before, then this is a great time to upskill. Look at different places where you can get new qualifications from, learn something new from, because that is a great way to sell yourself on your CV when you're applying for jobs in the future, to say, I use that time to do this. And again, I'm going to put that out there. I know this is a difficult time. I know that not everyone's in a space to learn. I have really bad days where all I want to do is just lie in bed and do nothing, and that's absolutely fine as well, because your mental health and you yourself should be the key to the whole thing. But if you do have the energy and if you do have the time, then I definitely would recommend kind of investing it in the right place at this time, to ensure you're getting ahead. Number five, I want to say, am I right? Number 5, 4, 5. Okay, we'll just not number it anymore. So the next one I would recommend is kind of getting your CV and your cover letter ready. So this is a great time to get your CV done, get your cover letter ready, get all of those things in place. Potentially what you can be doing is actually reaching out to people on LinkedIn, because you know, a lot, like I said, people have a lot more time. So if you do know that, you know, there's someone you want to speak to or a company you're interested in, message their, you know, people on LinkedIn, because if they have time, they'll be more likely to reach out to you, because people are a lot more invested in the, you know, virtual world right now. People are a lot more responsive, so this is a great time to kind of maybe get that mentoring in, or just that one conversation that you've been looking to have, and really understand what they're looking for in terms of CVs and cover letters and all those kind of questions. Because once you've got that answer, that's a great way again to get ahead. And if they remember you later on when they do open up positions, they're more likely to reach out to you as well. So definitely use this opportunity for that, because I did this really interesting virtual course myself. It wasn't a virtual, it was more of a workshop, which was around the fact that, you know, you should have coffee with the world, which means that basically, you know, once a month you should have coffee with someone you've always wanted to have coffee with, in terms of, you know, the professional side of things, or you know, someone who you thought you'd love to have an opportunity to just speak to, and just reach out to them, send them a message and see what they say. And this is a great opportunity to do that. Obviously we can't have coffee in real life, but virtual coffee is just as good. You can get just as much information, and like I said, they're more likely to be engaged with you, purely because it's going to take less time, because they don't have to go anywhere and you don't have to go anywhere. So I would marry that up, and I would definitely check that out. So definitely create that list and message those people on LinkedIn, and see, you know, where it can get you to, because the opportunities are endless basically. And the final one I want to say, which I kind of said a little bit before anyway, but in itself is a very key final point, is look after yourself. Like, honestly, look after your mental health. Because I remember in final year I was constantly having breakdowns. I was just constantly just anxious, annoyed, upset, I don't know, all these emotions under the sun. I had all of them, and honestly I was having a normal final year. Like, it was, nothing was like massively bad, you know, it was just a normal year in university. It was just a final year, it was just a stress of it all. But I know all of you guys out there who are studying right now are having a very, very stressful time. This is a difficult time. You don't know how to react, how to respond. There's pressures from all these different angles. So please look after yourself, because that is the key. You know, if you look after yourself, everything else will fall into place, everything else will happen in its own time. Look after yourself, and then the rest of the steps will follow, and you'll have the time to focus on the rest of the steps if you're mentally, physically and emotionally okay. But if you lose any of those three things, you know, your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, any of those things, you're not going to be able to focus on those other things anyway. So really kind of focus on yourself and your internal self as well, and see where you can get to, because that is honestly the most key thing, being able to look after yourself. So I hope you found that video useful. I plan to kind of do a few more on a few different things. I plan to do some Instagram kind of IGTV videos as well. So I've got a few things kind of lined up. So if you're interested, if you've got any questions around kind of CV, courses, upskilling, you know, any of those things, I'm happy to take any questions, happy to actually have a chat as well, you know. So let me know. All my details are down below, and you know the drill: like, comment, subscribe, share, and always welcoming some feedback, always happy to hear anything else you'd like me to cover. And yeah, have a lovely day, look after yourself, stay inside, stay safe, and save some lives.